Hey guys, Joel from Inflatable Office and Event Office here, and I wanted to do day number 2. So we are going to talk about 3 things that you can do right now to prepare for this crazy coronavirus thing. First is if you are advertising on Facebook, you may want to turn those off temporarily or change the advertisement to, as people aren't going to be able to book events now. So, Facebook is more like impulse buying. They're not looking for booking an event, but they see your ad and it gets them thinking about it. So obviously they're not going to be wanting to do that right now. So you don't want to waste your money doing that. Um, so you could, if you wanted to try it, you could keep your ads on and change them so that they're more like, hey, book a private bounce party for your kids. Let them still have some fun even though they can't go anywhere. So that could work, but you're gonna have to probably do something different there with your Facebook ads if you're running those now. Number in your Google AdWords stuff, since they're searching for that, you could leave those alone because they're either not going to be searching or they're going to be looking for something that they're still interested in booking. So I wouldn't change anything with your Google ads. Next, number 2, you're going to want to send out some newsletters, some emails to your upcoming bookings, all of those people that are considering canceling right now because they don't know what the future holds. And I would make one that says, hey, we're going to, let you know here's our current cancellation policy. Here's what you can do. You may want to make some adjustments to it and say, hey, our cancellation policy doesn't allow you to cancel within 30 days. You can't get your deposit back or whatever your policy is. I would just list it there and say, hey, due to the circumstances, we're allowing anyone to reschedule for up to the next year or something like that. That gives them some reassurance, and then you aren't losing that customer. So yeah, if they end up having to postpone their whatever spring thing they got planned to the fall or to next year, it's okay as long as you're still going to get paid from them. What you don't want is the cancel and not rebooking situation happen. So I would send out a newsletter for that as soon as possible to all your upcoming bookings. And I'll show you at the end of the video how to do that one. And then lastly, I would send out a newsletter to your entire customer list. And that one should be more like a advertisement for, like I had said earlier, like a private party or something. Hey, you still got to have fun. We're booking stuff now. Type in Corona discount code, whatever, to get $50 off or something like that. So use that as an opportunity to try to book some smaller backyard things like that. So those are my 3 suggestions. So now I'm going to show you how to do that in Inflatable Office, sending those newsletters out. Can't show you much with the Facebook thing. You'll have to manage that one on your own. If you don't know how to do it, then you're probably not running Facebook ads, so it's not really a problem. All right, so the first thing we want to do, if we're going to send to our existing bookings, we're going to make a filter for it, and then we'll make the newsletter. So filter, add filter, upcoming bookings, start, or no, sorry, event dates is in the next, I don't know, we'll just say 300 days. And then we want to also make sure it's not just quotes, but also, so you do lead status, and then he'll either need to include all the ones it contains or the ones it doesn't contain. So if you've only got a quote status, you could say does not contain quote, or you can say it contains, let's say confirmed. So for this one, it gets tricky because we need it to include this event date, and it needs to be any of these statuses. So it depends on how you're running things. I don't know how your statuses are, but you may want to only do the confirmed ones. You may want to do contracted and confirms, whatever. So that's how you'd set that filter up. Save it. For the other one that we're going to send an entire list, you don't need to have a filter for. Next, we'll go over to News Email Center, add new email. So this will be a newsletter. And over here, you can go to restrictions and we'll find that filter we created, right? So only send to upcoming bookings ad. Okay, so we'll call this one start sending it as soon as I'm done here. And so we're going to leave active off so that way we can test it and make sure it's looking good here before we send it. So you just simply type in here, and if you want it to print out their first name, use these variables here. You most likely won't know what they are, so we've got a list down here. If you scroll down or click on this, the log thing, there's this here you can click on and it'll tell you what all the variables are. So CT first name. You can use asterisks or percent signs around it, and that'll know to replace it with the actual customer's first name. You don't have to use those. You can just simply just type in your message, and I would paste in, you know, our current cancellation policy says, and then whatever. You can make it bold using these here. You want to make the font size bigger. Oops. Things like that. Oh, that's probably too big. But anyway, you'll have to play around with it some. And when you're done with it, obviously you want to save it. You can save it as much as you want while you're working on it. You can use this over here to filter, so we'll pull up our newsletters. But like I said, until you've tested it and made sure it looks good by sending it to yourself here, don't activate it until you're completely sure it's the way you want it to be. All right, and so to get your terms, you can go right over to your contract and pull it off of there if you've got cancellation terms on there. Oops. So what you can do is you can just select it. If you hold down the Shift key, then Control C to copy. And then we can go back over to Email Center. Something like that. So you'll want to spend some time thinking about it and getting it something that seems fair and that makes sense for your situation. So, and then when you're done with it, you can hit the send test button to get an email. You can change this to your email and make sure it looks good before you activate it. Okay, and then the same thing here with if we're going to send out to our entire list. This one's going to be more like an advertisement, but you'll do the same thing. Let's call it so maybe you have this one start tomorrow or whatever. You can slow the send rate down if you wanted to have it go slowly, or if you wanted to blast it all out in the same day, you can have the number higher, but something like 100, and this is going to be per hour, 100 emails per hour. So, and then this one is you'll just simply type in there like before. So you can do CT first name. Even with all that's going on, still need to have some fun. Book a private event for your kids. Be clean and sing. You got a spell check here you can right click on. Something like that. So obviously you're going to want to have a link in here. So you can use just directly to your website, or if you want to go right to your quote page, you can use this one here. It's called quote request URL or quote URL. Now this is the one we want right here. Yeah, quote URL is what we want. So what you can do is make a hyperlink. You highlight the text, you hit this, and then you can put in that variable in here. Quote URL. Sure, that's right. If you wanted to set up a coupon in here, which might be worth doing, make sure we get a subject. To do a coupon code, you would go over and you would to our promotion section. Add a promotion. Coupon code, and then from here you can set it up however you want. So you might say they have to rent certain items, or it has to be at least, you know, $150 or whatever requirement you want. If you don't want a requirement, you just set this to 1. But you know, if you have a requirement on there, you want to set when the promo date is going to be on from. So starting today until whenever it ends. Event date range, if you want to restrict that, you can. If you want to allow for any dates, you can just mark the box, etc. So then down here in the reward section, you would say they get, you know, $50 offers, whatever your promotion is. You can also set a max usage, whether it's taxable, and a bunch of other settings on here. So yeah, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. All right, thanks.